Are you ready?
I am. Are you? Do it.
This is To Wit, a podcast for women in tech doing life. I'm Kristi Guzman.
And I'm Melinda Smith, as usual.
Sometimes you're someone else.
I mean, it depends.
But usually you're Melinda Smith.
Today I am, yes.
You know, this is a crazy month, Melinda.
Agreed.
Oh, you're supposed to say why.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why, Kristi?
Because we got to see each other in person and it was great.
This is very true.
I mean, clearly we didn't make the connection on, finishing each other's sentences.
We
did get a.
Well, I always agree with you.
Oh yeah, sure. Yes, you're right. Crazy month. So we had a double whammy, dreaming back to back.
Yes.
Although you didn't go to too much Midwesting, but it was great.
Yeah, I didn't do a ton. I was so focused on the rollout of Witness Success, and well, I mean, I intended to just like focus, and then I went to one session, and then all of a sudden there was cocktails and dancing, and next thing I knew it was one. That's not the point. But the point is, you give me the download. I know the cool thing was is this the first time it's been off Navy Pier?
I think so. I mean, I know since I have been, this is the first time I have been at it, not on Navy Pier. I don't know if the very first years, if it was, but I'm sure someone will correct us and or point it out. But yeah, this is one of the first community events I went to, so it kind of holds a special place for me.
Totally, me too.
But this is the first year I spoke at it, which is awesome. And I had like the first slot right after the opening keynote, so that was fun for me to figure out. I just had so much going on with moving and then being in Portland for Forcelandia, which was awesome, and then just like closing on my house and all this stuff that I kind of was like, just get to Chicago,
right.
Like literally like get on the plane with a suitcase. And then so I got there, and then I finally started kind of like paying attention to what I was supposed to do, and I was like, oh hey, my presentation's tomorrow morning. Maybe I should, practice, finalize my slides, get it together. So I did that. I think it went well. I, just to be self-deprecating, of course, doubt myself, but I got a lot of great compliments that I did not solicit. And just have had great response on it. And I think it's a great example of something that, number one, I challenged myself to do for myself and then turned it into a session. And number two, like, it's not super technical. It's not that hard, but it seems like it made an impact on people, like, which is good.
Useful. And I keep hearing that.
Yeah, and really a lot of it is just the mentality of switching from, 2 years ago, I think it was, why lightning? It doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Why would I do this? And now I really think we're getting to like, why not lightning?
Totally.
Right? Like,
couldn't agree more.
And so that means that as admins, we need to get our head out of the hole that we've stuck it in the ground, because change is hard for us too, So that's just kind of what I'm trying to address with that session. So yeah, it was good. And the wonderful Salesforce evangelist team came to support me. Aww. Even though they obviously know how lightning works. And,
you don't know.
So I think we're going to turn it into a webinar, maybe, possibly, safe harbor, forward-looking statement. And I'm going to do it in the admin theater at Dreamforce.
I was given the drum roll.
Yeah, so I just found out that I made it off the wait list. So that will be super exciting. That's my first, even at the world tours and stuff, I don't think I've done a theater presentation. So it'll be my first theater adventure.
I'll be the one screaming.
So I'm excited.
Because I haven't gotten to see it. So
oh, yeah.
I need to see it and support you. All the things.
Yeah, so that'll be great. So that happened, and then I co-hosted 2 of the demo jams. So at this event, just due to the size of how many partners there were, they did 3 jams, and then the winner of those 3 jams were in a mega jam. And it's fun because I think that's a great way to learn. First of all, the number of people in that room who did not raise their hands that they had been to a demo jam before was a lot.
Oh.
And it reminded me, like, not everyone has my experience in the ecosystem. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I was like, how on earth have you, that's like saying you've never heard of lightning.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? You know? But again, I'm in the App Exchange ecosystem, right? Like, and so it just was interesting. And so I was so excited for people to get a taste of apps. And there was partners I had never seen before who had cool apps. And it forces me as a host to pay attention, right? And then kind of spin it back to people as the next person hooks up. So thanks for asking, Amanda Nelson and team, for me to do that. And I had a good time with it.
I think we do forget that, you know, people don't have the exposure that we do. I've talked to a couple people in the last, I don't know, handful of months that have been in the ecosystem 6, 7, 8 years and have never been to Dreamforce. Like, their companies just haven't sent them. That's the thing. And I'm like, what? Like, that? What? Like, you know what I mean? Like that. But you're that's the same. Like, who has never been to a demo jam? It's probably the same people that are like, I've never been to a community event. When would I have gone to a demo jam? So I'm glad you got to go. Host, actually.
And they actually do online ones every month. So that's another way too. Not to totally plug the App Exchange, except they're great. And that's like the whole reason I have a company and a job, but you know, whatever. And Appy, yay.
What is he again?
Puns for days. I believe it is a she, and I believe she is a mountain lion.
Mountain lion?
But a tiny one? Just because it's cute, or maybe because she's short? I don't know.
All right, keep talking. I'm going to Google.
It's puns for days, though, with Appy Camper.
Oh, yeah.
It's wonderful. So then it was also great there's another podcast that I listened to that we may have talked about, the Good Day Sir podcast. They have a Slack channel for nerds of their podcast. And so I went to a session that was kind of a brain stretch for me, that I did not anticipate actually understanding too much of the content. But I went to support one of the other awesome people from the channel, Roger Mitchell. So that was fun. And to meet people and put a little picture in the Slack channel of me and my nerdy friends. And I know you had gone to Amy's session as well. So I think it's interesting to be able to go and support people and not focusing 100% on things to learn.
No,
not that you don't learn, but you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
And the difference is when you go on your own money too is a little bit of a less need for an ROI for your company. So it was easy for me to kind of pop in when I felt like it. I mean, I did take an early flight so I could be there at the beginning, and then kind of ran around. I had to iron out some things for Witness Success and then managed to pop into Amy and Stu's, like you said, just for support. And it was an amazing session, as you know, as she likes to put on. She's always pretty good about putting on those interactive emotional sessions, and Stu was amazing. And, you know, it was a little bit like 85%, 75% of like your pals in the crowd. Because like we're talking back to her, and, you know, Jennifer Davis is like, yeah, exactly. And like, you know, Amy's like calling people on by name. And then there was a handful of people in the room that, you know, maybe you didn't know, but I hope that they felt like they were part of the love and they were part of the community. And, you know, you can get up and share your story. And, you know, if we call on you or if somebody calls on you, it's not like they're trying to call you out, but like, hey, you know, you have a great story to share. So I thoroughly enjoy supporting our friends, and it is still learning, but it's almost like you don't see it as that because you're having fun and spending time with your pals.
Right. And I think their message was one that was a little bit more anybody could learn from it, you know, from looking at women in the workplace. So I know that at least Stu was nervous, but
he's amazing.
He did great.
He's a good ally.
We all get nervous. But yeah, it went really well. And what else did I do? Oh, we did a great fundraiser for PepUp Tech, and Mary Scotton was there and was great about walking around at lunch and being like, oh, hi, Kristi. You know things. Come and sit next to this person and let them ask you questions about things. Okay, whatever you say, Mary. Yes, I will do that. So I got to meet some great, energetic, like really excited college students and high school seniors who've gone through the Salesforce training program through PepUp Tech are working on getting certified. And then some of them were able to come to Witness Success as well. So it worked out really nice to be in Chicago, where some of the planning team is based. And so we were able to get some great PepUp Tech connections happening. They had prizes.
I'm going to do that.
You know,
I'm just going to say that all cavalierly, like it's not a big fucking deal.
I'm gonna
do a division here at PepUp Tech. There's nothing close to Colorado, and even though I'm still in the process of vetting out a good reentry program here, there is a lot of finagling, as I think we've talked about. Like, you know, these women are trying to enter society and live life. So sometimes, depending on where they are, it's harder to teach them Salesforce. Not hard, but just harder. So the PepUp Tech I thought would be a nice way too to be able to continue to give back in a great sense. So I'm going to talk to Shonnah, she said, to help me out. And then I can't remember some of the other younger kids that were like, yes, absolutely. Here's the website. You know, they can show you how to get a local chapter if that's how they phrase it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that because I feel like I need my calendar more full. Sure, I know.
Oh yeah, you need more sales.
I need to give back. It's making me bananas. I don't have my women in tech group, and I haven't gotten any traction just yet with a reentry program. So I feel like I've told you before. I just feel like I need to do something else to give back to the community.
Well, in the spirit of biting off more than maybe your calendar can chew, I am currently working with the Minorities in Tech program that I think I talked a little bit about when we were talking to Tony Profit. So we're working with the Charlotte Mecklenburg schools to do a high school senior program, but also, I don't think this is a secret.
It's not now.
The Charlotte Housing Authority, so with adults. And so it's been great reaching out to the Salesforce U / Trailhead contacts to get some assistance with content and like instructor materials so we can kind of structure this course. And I think it's going to be like a 40-hour legit certification path course, like 2 times a week for however many weeks. I need to do math to figure all that out, but I'm pretty excited about it. They're piloting a program for I think 12 adults. And what's great is they're providing space, they're providing meals, they're providing childcare. Like they're really trying to enable these underprivileged people here in Charlotte. So
that's awesome. Got to keep us posted.
Yeah. So it kind of just worked. Yeah, it kind of just worked out nice that some of the awesome team members here were motivated to start a nonprofit and start targeting toward these things, and then they want to teach some certification skills, and I'm like, oh, hey, I can do that.
I know those things. Totally.
I know those things.
I sent the basic CRM trail to my bestie who has been on the path, kind of a reorganization of her professional life. So she's been doing nursing school and was going to move into a ultrasound tech. But I guess it's a really competitive field. So she's like, if I don't get in, I might just ditch this and go back to work. Like I'm 40. I don't want to deal with, 4 years of school. And I said, well, can I tell you a little thing about my friend Salesforce? So, and she's like, do you think I could do that? And I was like, you're probably, one of the smartest people I know. So, yeah. So I sent her the trail.
Well, and how you can translate it potentially to the healthcare field.
Totally.
Like that's one of their verticals specifically that they have custom magic stuff for.
No, for sure. So I sent that to her and I was like, just, try it. And I mean, she's very smart. So I think that she'll like it. And it would be kind of a fun little podcast case study to see as someone that's never been in, because we're so close that clearly she would tell me how it's going every step of the way. So it'd be kind of fun to see it through somebody else's eyes, and maybe not an accidental admin as a lot of us have been. But more of a chosen admin, a Luke Skywalker admin, a Jedi admin. Wait, no, I guess that was bestowed upon you too. Ooh. That's really not chosen. Oh, see, all the Star Wars fans are going to yell at me.
Not me. Although I will say, speaking of people getting on Trailhead, my dad is earning badges.
Shut the front door.
He's so awesome. He texted me like,
Mr.
so
Campbell.
do I have to pay to learn these Salesforce things? And I was like, trailhead.salesforce.com.
No, just
makes learning fun.
No, Dad, you have to pay in dinners for me.
Right. And then, yeah, for my, he had texted me, we were talking about the schema builder, which he likes, and some different like challenges he had with his right. It's crazy. And
I'm just going to jump into schema builder.
Yeah. And then he said something about a screen swear. And I thought he said, I'm like, oh, I can screen share with you later. Like I'm in bed or whatever. And then he's like, no, I already did it. I was like, we didn't already do a screen share. And he's like, screen swear. I swore at the screen a little bit, but then I figured it out and I got the badge.
Oh my God. He's the most adorable.
So yeah. And he's on his way to visit me with my mom and my brother. And I'm super excited.
That's real cute.
I know. To be fair, he has like some of a tech background. So it's not like, your dad getting his first phone and trying to figure out like how to text,
Right.
But still, it's cool.
It is cool. I told you a couple podcasts ago that, oh no, I think I tweeted it, that my grandma, not only is she now texting, she's using emojis. And it's quite possibly the most amazing thing in my life. And she calls me her angel because, well, I'm an only child and so is my mom. So not to mention that I was spoiled. But I love when she screws up the spelling by accident and calls me her little angel. It's my most favorite thing ever.
And then accidentally sends a ruler emoji of a right angle ruler angle.
It's so cute. I love when other generations, well, I should not say other, I should just say older, pick up the tech.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So I have no segue to give here, but
I'm really
I think we talked about Midwest. I know, right? We're like, yeah, oh my God. We did it. You did it. I just showed up.
It's done.
Y'all.
It was, at the end, as I'm sure you can relate with Southeast Dreamin, your first one, and anyone that's put on any event, I mean, even just a birthday party, right up until it opens or the moment it goes, you're stressed and you're wigged out, and then add, other personalities. And we all were in tears at one point in time and through the process, not at each other, just, out of frustration, trying to make it the best thing, and things were last minute. But ultimately it was so great. Cheers to the core team, Jean, Jocelyn, Amber, and Kyla.
And you.
And me. Yay. It was so good. I mean, and like you said, nobody knows what maybe went wrong or what didn't happen that we wanted to, but ultimately we put on a really great event. And even throughout the sponsorship snafus or the
no luggage storage on the party bus.
Oh. Yeah, right. No luggage storage. Or the party bus is having stripper poles. I'm so sorry, ladies, but everyone had a great time.
What? Yeah.
I know. It just seems so wrong to have the women, this feminist style pro-woman event having stripper poles on the bus.
And disco lights.
But everyone had a really great time. Yeah, so even the little snafus, we were always confident about the content. And then it came to fruition, and it was so further solidified by the feedback. And I got to be present in most of the keynotes, making sure that people had mics. I didn't get to be present in all of the sessions, which was a little bit of a bummer. But I made sure that, I popped into everyone. But everyone came away with this amazing, authentic, genuine, hardcore time. The very first session started, and I'm checking on mics, and I pop upstairs to Missy's event or session. And then,
workshop.
Yes, her workshop. And then I come down to check on the other sessions that started at the same time. And we've got happy tears in one and laughter in another and good conversation. And I was like, this is what it's about. And everyone, I feel all of the feedback that we got was, wow, this is not at all what I thought it was going to be, or this is better than I thought it was going to be. Or shout out to Selina, who was like, I don't fucking cry. I don't cry unless I'm really making a connection. And I cried twice. And I love her. I love my New York girl so much for that comment. And I've quoted her like a dozen times. So I hope she's okay with that. People just came away with a really genuine time of learning and connecting and growing. And truly, that's it. Like, that's all we could hope for. That's all we really wanted. All of the other stuff is icing or gravy. You know, we did amazing headshots. Jocelyn's bestie did some headshots. We had...
I haven't seen my headshot yet.
This Thursday, they should be coming out.
Ooh.
Yes. So there was some fun giveaways. We did the Trailhead S'mores trail mix, which... most thought looked like dog treats, and I was like, not at all what we were going for. But hey, it's cool.
It was delicious. I found one in my bag and ate it yesterday.
Yeah, they're real good. And the support and the love we got from the Salesforce team. Cheryl spoke from .org, which was a transformative moment, I think, for a lot of people. And what I really love about Cheryl too is she takes a moment to talk to everybody. Like, I had something I wanted to share with her. And I know that she came down at the happy hour, and I saw everyone kind of getting a piece of her time. And I thought, you know what? I'll talk to her later. I have many opportunities. But she knows that I had said something earlier about chatting with her, but I just sidelined it. It's not a big deal. There are, 100 other people that wanted to talk to her. But she sought me out at happy hour and said, you wanted to chat with me. Got up from her seat and like, let's go for a little walk, which was so genuine and amazing. She didn't have to do that. And she did that. I saw her do that with Stephanie. I saw her do that with others that wanted a moment of her time. And she took the time to just chat with whomever wanted to talk. And, Gillian was there and Mary was there, and just the love and support from Salesforce in general. I mean, I just, like, my cup runneth over. It was such a really great event. And, clearly we're planning the next one. It is in Denver next year, which is, ultimately super awesome for me. I don't have to fly anywhere. I can just, drive downtown. So I am over the moon, happy with how it went. I am, super loving and grateful for my team. When we have other contributors that help with content, and Shonnah and Toya and Kerry and Melissa, but you kind of a band of brothers, or a band of sisters, I should say, when you come out of the trenches of planning a big event like this. And then now we're on to the next. And it was really great.
Well, I think it's interesting too. One of my favorite sessions was Davina just talking about her journey, not only through Salesforce, but also her year of yes and her life just of, becoming a single mom at a young age in Utah, and how nervous she was to speak at all. And like literally was like, I almost like called in sick from upstairs, and I've known her, Salesforce friends level for years. And it was just so interesting to learn more about the connections to other people that she referenced. And then for the Q&A, so many other single moms who spoke up and had similar experiences. And she literally came down off the stage and like sat in the crowd with us, and we just had a conversation, Q&A, but just like a conversation. It was really cool. Yes. Just different than, again, what you might have expected. And even Cheryl's keynote, I feel like, was not something you'd hear at a world tour. Sure. Right? Like, it was just a different flavor of the concept. But I just think it was really great, even if you're okay in your career, right? I think there was still a lot of great content for thinking about how you approach the world and your life. And, it got me thinking about a lot of good stuff and good momentum, I think, as well as relationships of just, when we talk about something like MidWest Dreamin, I think it's more like, now I know someone who knows about lightning or knows about flow. So when I have a question, I can go ask that person, and that kind of networking. To me, this was really interesting for example, I wanted to do this panel about awesome admins who started as accidental admins, right? Or accidental admins to, wherever you end up. And I literally put it out there on Twitter because that's my story, right? So I put it out there on Twitter, and I ended up with Amber, who is an MVP, has been working for partners, has done a lot of consulting. Christina, who is an awesome admin who's been at different size orgs from just a totally different perspective than me. And then Selina, who now works at .org, right? So all accidental admins, similar, maybe kind of skill sets in general, but like I didn't even try. And that's the diverse panel approach that I got. So I think it was really great. Although, hands down, I think the best, I didn't see all the panels, but the ones I did, the best panel prepper is Jeremiah Dohn.
So good.
He got such a great panel together and had legit questions and plans and guided a conversation. He made Q&A, like people dropping F-bombs in the audience. It was wonderful. And it was the last one too, so it just felt like, I don't know, it was really great. And that was about, work-life balance, or the theory thereof, right? So
I think that real connection is built on authenticity, and I think that every session and every panel and every keynote just came with such authenticity. And I honestly believe a lot of times I don't think maybe someone stood up there to get real raw, and then it just happened because it was such a safe space. So I just like I said, I'm just overjoyed with what people took away, and I'm happy that we could put this thing together that really changed people. I know that a lot of people had maybe some reservations or didn't really know proof of concept. I'm using air quotes, and it was kind of hard to put this together in the sense that we didn't have a traditional trade show floor or event booth. It was more of a career fair or type situation. So that one was kind of hard to put into terms. But I think now that it's been done and out there, people can really take a lot from it. It was really good.
Yeah, and then the happy hour was great. We watched the screening of the movie, which was great. And then the next day, I think it's interesting how it evolved of okay, who's around? Who wants to go to lunch? Who can share rides to the airport? And force people to speak in accents on their whole cab ride. And not that anyone would do that.
Oh, I'm calling her out, Stephanie. You did it.
Who made her do it? You.
I mean, how? How did I make her do that?
I heard that you introduced her to the cab or Uber driver because Kerry was there as well, that these were both your friends from London, so that she had to maintain her beloved love and accent.
I want to blame Kerry. I'm fairly certain it's Kerry's fault.
Oh, of course you do.
She's the one with the wacky accent, right? No.
Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. But, just that fun stuff that, we're popping bottles on the party bus. These are just people, and we all went around. I only knew half those people, but just great. It's such a great space for walking up to a random person you don't know and introducing yourself, right? So I think it went really well, and I'm excited for the next one.
It's going to be amazing. It is 27th, 28th. I'll put it in the show notes, but I think it's July 27th and 28th. And since it's my hometown, I don't think it's any big secret to tell that I'm going to make I haven't decided if I want to do it the day before or the day after, because we're trying to tag on to the 5280 Dreamin, kind of the local event here. But I'd like to put together some kind of hike type situation. I don't know if I want to do something as aggressive as a 14er, or we want to do a Red Rocks and a brewery, but I want to do a little sampling of, some of the things that make Denver my happy, happy home.
I will just put my Hat in the ring for not the 14er, but the brewery
later.
Yep.
Yeah. It's fun, but they have little hikes too. We can do a little one that
yes,
the kiddos do that isn't too hard and too far. So
yes, please take me on a baby hike. Pretend I'm a toddler and I'm going to complain about needing snacks.
I will bring snacks.
Like, I'm not kidding.
Well, and
I'll bring
the altitude
snacks.
is a for real thing. Like that's not to be fucked with here. Like it's a real deal. You can get altitude sickness in Denver, downtown Denver. So that's not something I really want to jack with.
You got to be careful with the drinking too.
Yep.
If you're not
lots of water,
acclimated.
and we'll make sure that we have, I think, flyers in the rooms or something. When extra water, I think that'll be critical. Because you tend to get drunker faster, and then the hangover is a gazillion times worse. And I can attest to that, being from here. Even last September, I think it was, when I came out here for brief training with the company that shall not be named, that is no longer. I forgot. I was with my girlfriends. We went to dinner. I'm from here. I don't need to remember that stuff. And I didn't have any water. And the next day, I thought I was dying. I made the hotel courtesy call take me 4 blocks to a 7-Eleven to get Tylenol. I was dying. I was in my jammies. I don't even think I put a bra on for it.
To be fair, I feel like it's possible you texted me from Chicago and said, if I died, would you miss me?
Well,
so
let me just tell you what happened there. This is also a case of, oops, I went out. So I'd been up since 3:30. Caught the flight, running around all day, kind of was winding down, and was like, okay, super tired. I'll just hang out with everyone for a little bit. And then Shonnah suggested dancing. And I think it was Shonnah. Yeah. And
your little ears just perked right up.
I was like, I'm in. I love to go dancing, and I don't do it very often. So it went from, I'm going to have a couple beers at the hotel, to going out to the Irish pub, to the dancing, and then popping in and out of different rooms with Mary. So we're dancing in like maybe the 80s, 90s room, but downstairs was the 70s room. So we'd run down there and dance to a couple songs and run up. And really, I wasn't drinking a ton. I was drinking like Coors Light, but I'd been up since 3:30. No water, no nothing.
This is a no judgment zone. I didn't mean to call you out.
No, I'm just saying, like, the hangover really shouldn't have been as bad as it was, especially coming down to sea level. But I truly thought the next day, I was like, I might die. And once again, like Trailhead DX, paid for SoulCycle and did not show. So now I'm at $50 paid to SoulCycle for no good reason. But
But your soul felt the Ohana.
Oh my God. You really think if you pay, I'll booby trap myself, right? I'll go. And it wasn't even that early. It was an 8:00 class, which is not terribly early. But no, I did feel like I was going to die, and then, had some food and water and was fine. Like, it was fine. But
that can be how hangovers work sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Well, and the whole new eating thing that I'm doing, this whole plant-based vegan life I think takes a toll on, you got to be careful with the drinking. More carbs for sure.
Plant-based vegan drinking.
Yes, all of the things.
Well, we survived.
Yeah.
And then you had to go back to your real life.
Yeah.
And
I got home fairly late, about 10ish, and then, got up next day, got back after my project. I intended to take a couple days, but this project is a little bit of a tight timeline. So, thank God for being able to work from home. So I didn't really have to, put on put on clothes. But, that Monday was Olive's first day of school too. So yeah, I had to get up, shower, and pretend to not be super freaking exhausted.
Little muffin.
I know, my little kindergartner. But the cool thing was, even though we flew out late, you and I got to, we got massages, we got to have breakfast and just kind of chill out. So I think that helped with not coming home super tired. And that Saturday night, we watched the the screening of, she started it and then, had a couple glasses of wine, and I went up to the room and just crashed. So it wasn't like, getting all crazy.
Yeah, those drink tickets, I should have felt worse. I should have felt worse on
Handed them
Sunday.
out like candy. But we had to meet our F&B minimum, so.
Teamwork makes the drinks work.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. So the side note, the eclipse, did you go do the thing? You were in the path of totality, right?
I was at 99%.
So cool.
Um, South Carolina. So I have friends here who drove a few hours down to see totality. So yeah, we had some glasses. So we just went outside from the office and shared them. It was really interesting.
It was pretty cool. I was not at all prepared for the cool shadows through the trees. And
me neither.
For a hot second, thought I discovered them. Took a picture, posted them to Instagram, and then saw all of the shadow photos throughout the day on social media. So
and some people who did like cool shadow things with like a colander or like other thing like intentional shadows versus you and me just being like, oh, look, leaf shadows.
Literally thought I discovered it. I was like, whoa, look at this cool. Oh, or look
That's
at
the first time I saw it.
Same.
It was really pretty on your deck.
It was very cool. Yeah. And then so I knew Olive had a school thing, and Josh was actually flying through the path of totality, which was super cool. And
is he the one who took the video that's all over the internet?
No.
Just kidding.
It was mostly.
Hopefully he was flying.
Yeah, pay attention. Eyes on the sky. Eyes on the sky, sir.
Eyes ahead.
So I didn't find glasses. I was a little cavalier about it until 12:31. So, or 11:31. So we had 92%, and that coverage was at 11:47. So at 11:31, I decided that I was on board and decided how to make glasses. Side note, 3 pairs of sunglasses does not make a eclipse glass. No.
Mm-mm.
So then I tore apart a box from Pancake Mix to try and do the pinhole with the white paper and the foil. It was okay. It just didn't show very well. So then I kept trying to do the just look at it real quick or like look at it through my fingers, and then I stopped doing that because, well, I'd like to see.
You didn't want to burn your retinas.
Yeah, I like to see. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The nice thing was that somebody else took care of that adulting for me and had glasses, and so we were able to share. Except here's the funny thing. I get that they're cheap-ish because like you're not going to use them again. Although I did see an article about sending them to some country that's going to like for them to use in 2019 or 2029 or whatever it is. But
do they want my pancake box? You don't know.
Maybe they want some pancake.
Yeah, right.
But why did they have to look so dorky? Like, did you see everyone tweeting their pictures looking like
3D movie
nerds? Right? I don't know. Just why couldn't they look like cheap sunglasses?
Because it'd be more expensive.
Maybe so that they look really different.
It's not even like you wear it for a day. You wear it for 2 minutes total.
I know, but they just at least make them like round. They just look like
Can I get some Tom Ford eclipse glasses, please? Thanks.
To be fair, I don't even know who Tom Ford is. Like, I'm not trying to be super bougie, but I mean, like, I'm talking like the free swag sunglasses,
sure,
but with lenses. You know, like, don't get. I'm not getting Kate Spady about it, okay? But like, it's just everyone just look like big nerdaholics on these pictures, but apparently I'm the only one with that opinion, so never mind.
Well, now you're going to be ostracized by the community.
Take your pancake box and go home.
Yeah.
I mean, I still Snapchatted the picture.
Well,
like,
I mean,
don't get me
the
wrong.
pancake box had like 4 steps, and I already screwed up one of them and like had to go back and retape. Yeah. That's what happens when you're trying to create it in like the 7 minutes before it happens. In 7 minutes, I decided I cared.
Well, I'm happy that you sort of got it together and still have your vision.
Yeah.
So, priorities.
This is true. So, speaking of a second ago, the whole eating thing. So, I told you, I don't know, in the last 2 podcasts of like the vegan thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the path. So, ridiculous cutaway is, this is what I put in our show notes.
I'm following you, kind of.
How documentaries ruin your life.
Ooh, okay.
So,
is this that one about eating, not eating animals with feelings? What's it called?
It's not even about feelings. It's about, oh man, I don't want to like taint anyone. Here's the deal. So I watched the one documentary I told you guys about because I'm trying to manage the autoimmune disease I have. I'm not on medication. I got to figure it out. The appointment I had with the local GI doc, I had to move, yada, yada. And then my girlfriend suggested another one, which was like not compiling. Oh, we can compile or piling on.
Compounding?
Yes, I like that better. So I watched Forks Over Knives, and then I watched What the Health. So not only is it 2 documentaries about, meat not really necessarily being good for you, aside from, people that don't like to eat animals because of feelings and killing them. It's mostly how it's not good for you. And then What the Health talks about, like, I guess I can use the word conspiracy, but huge groups taking money from other groups as far as dairy and meat products and all this stuff. So I was like, why did I watch this? For me, this is the route I'm going to go because I want to manage this disease and because apparently I'm impressionable. But my mom was in town, who is an avid steak eater. I'm talking Chardonnay, steak, and like salad. This is her life. This is yoga, bar, steak, Chardonnay. This is my mama.
Squackles.
Right? And she was like, God damn it. Great. I'm going to miss cheese. I was like, it's not even halfway through. Like, let it finish. Maybe it will say in small amounts. So I don't know. I'm not casting judgment on anybody. I'm not saying everyone needs to run out and watch it. And I'm sure that there are plenty of skeptics that can tear it apart. But that's where I'm at.
So I have not watched these things. Maybe I will, just to give a second opinion. But here's my general philosophy about some of these things. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Not even drinking. That's my philosophy.
Love you so much.
So you only have so much mental bandwidth for these kind of things.
Yes.
So I feel like you have to choose your battles. And otherwise, you would live in a bubble and never leave your house.
Everything causes cancer. Everything can hurt you. I completely agree.
So, again, I'm not trying to intentionally be an asshole about things, hopefully. But at some point, you got to draw a line for your sanity.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Because
it's like the social media news. Like, you have to pick how much you're digesting.
Well, and just... politics is not the thing that blows my skirt up. And so I am somewhat aware of things that are going on, but I am not an impassioned, taking a stand, making a point about those things. More power to you if you are. But I think it's tough because I think people too easily get into you don't care about this thing that I really care about? Right. Well, you are the reason that bad things happen. And it's like, no, I feel like I told this story maybe before, but we had to do these persuasive speeches in my speech class in college. And it was this girl talking about donating blood. And it was like, you have a free resource available to you that people need. I don't care if you pass out, you should go and lay on the floor.
That's a bit much.
And donate. If you can donate blood, you should donate blood. And it was like, you have this resource, and if you don't share, you're awful. Oh, and it's like, man,
too much.
That's too black and white. There are shades of gray in there. And sometimes it's an excuse. But I think if you let those things, like you said, ruin your life.
No, totally.
Right? You got to be reasonable, because otherwise you'd never leave home and you'd have to buy everything organic, but you can't afford it. But then you can't touch money because it's dirty. And then you would just not do anything.
It's hard for sure. I am okay with choosing this to be my thing because I have a motivating factor to not be on medication if I can. The side effects were shitty. And like I told you the last episode, come to find out, I can't go back on what I was on because apparently I built up antibodies, anaphylactic shock, don't want to die, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah, that's important.
Yeah. So, and it may not work. I am the first person to tell you, I don't not believe in science. And if I make it, when I make it to my next appointment, if the doctor is like, dude, you need to be on something, you have a disease. Okay. I'm totally in. But there is no harm in trying to affect it with diet because it's, your GI tract and everything is, if anything is related to food and what you ingest, it's that. So It's good, and I do like things that open my eyes. But yeah, it is kind of a mental shift.
Well, and I think too, it's, of course, I would love to buy local for a lot of things, but, I don't know. And again, maybe you can be that person and buy local because then it's, you're not transporting things and you know who made them and all this artisan, et cetera, et cetera. But then like there's a budget problem potentially. There's just reality of convenience, right? What if I'm driving to 15 stores to get all my artisanal everything that is local? So again, it's not that I don't want to do those things and I don't want to be like, when it's convenient for me, I buy local. Like, I don't want to be like that either, but there's got to be a middle ground. And you can't assume that you're failing at life if you don't do all the things the quote unquote right way. So I'm not saying you can't learn from those things, and more power to you, but don't let it ruin your life.
My girlfriend that has watched all of these and mostly suggested them said the same thing. She's like, you don't have to go overboard. And I said, no, I 100% agree. But I also know how I feel. So like, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to listen to my body. Like if I want to have a steak once in a while and I know what's out there, okay, let's do it. But like, there are some things I can't. Like I can't have any more that make me sick. So like that has really nothing to do with what you've learned. You're just kind of listening to your own body. And like you said, to each his own. There is no blanket statement. I literally said this to my trainer. I said something like, hey, I was testing this out to see if I would feel weaker, and because I do a lot of weightlifting and I don't, thinking somewhere along the lines that this guy would be like, very cool. Instead, he was like basically, that's a bullshit diet. Hey, have you checked out this guy on Twitter that eats nothing but meat all the time? Oh, no, sure, show me. That's all he eats. Like his birthday cake was a steak. He eats nothing but meat and he's ripped. I was like, awesome. Okay, cool. And I said, well,
not the point.
Truly. And I was not going to say anything. I said, well, I'm doing this for health reasons for this, autoimmune thing.
Well, but that's also an interesting, I think we've talked about, this is going to sound like the weirdest transition, but like consultants, right? And that they get a bad name because maybe you work with one that doesn't know all the things or is an asshole or whatever, right? The same with a trainer, right? Like he focuses on one thing, right? And knows that one thing, but then maybe nutrition isn't the thing.
It's
but then
really not.
Sometimes people believe that then he's not omniscient, right?
It's weird though, because I've never had a trainer that wasn't kind of somehow prescribing your diet. And I have asked him before and he was like, I don't know. Or like, not like he doesn't know, because he is from the UK, where he had told me that when you learn a field over there, that's all you do. You don't do about like all the prerequisite crap that we do here. So I do not doubt for a moment that he isn't well versed in his field, but I am really surprised not to hear anything about what I put in my body from him. Or when I ask, he's kind of cavalier about like, I don't know, like do what works for you. But when I do bring this up,
but you will keep him.
Yeah, he makes,
because he's pretty.
He's real pretty.
And he has a fun accent.
Yeah, both of those things.
And then just get your food knowledge somewhere else.
It's a little, yeah, I would,
I'm not going to go shop for all my artisanal jams in 15 places, but you can get your health and personal training knowledge from two separate people.
But all encompassing to like in the conversation for anybody out there that is like, I don't know if I want to do this because of working out. Both the documentaries, which I really appreciate, is they address that. Because my biggest thing was, how am I going to get enough protein? I want to lift weights. I want to, have good performance at the gym. It addresses both of them, and it's so not a thing. And, Missy Longshore, too, also sent me a bunch of information, and we chatted at WITness Success.
Witness the stress. Witness success.
Cut that out.
Witness.
And we chatted at WITness Success about, the food you intake. So anyways, it's been a journey. It's been interesting. About 5 weeks in. And I promise at this moment I'll stop talking about my food.
That just reminded me that my dad is coming and he is doing keto. Ooh, so I need
that's some good shit too.
Make sure we do eat.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's higher fat, lower carb.
Atkins-like.
Yes.
Because it's based on being in
Correct.
ketosis. Which, if you do eat a lot of meat, if you've ever done Atkins, your mouth gets really... Ugh. That's what I thought of with that birthday cake steak guy. Like,
I just love that
your mouth gets...
brilliant trainer. I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. He's like, hey, let me show you this meat guy. Like, literally the opposite. And I was like, awesome, dude. Don't get me wrong.
Thanks.
I love me some meat, some steak, some cheese, some bacon. Sorry.
To be fair, those things are not all meat.
Well, I mean, yeah, I miss cheese. Cheese is my friend. I've digressed.
Well,
shall we start with our super faves, my PAC?
Oh. Sure. What do you got?
Obviously, Witness Success. I mean, I think that goes without saying that I'm pretty passionate about it, and it went amazingly, and I can't wait for the next one, and I can't wait to make it better each time. But to make it a little less woo-woo, I love LaCroix. Here's the deal. Do you drink that?
No, because whatever the flavor... Okay, have you heard the thing where some people eat cilantro and it tastes like soap?
That's me.
And it's like a genetic thing?
100%.
I think that's equivalently... when there's gas and drinks like that, it tastes like soap.
Oh, yeah.
Or not soap, but like I just can't drink sparkling waters and LaCroix.
That makes sense. I like
They
it
taste
'cause
gross.
really all I drink is, water, coffee until, it's time for happy hour. But I love it. I'm obsessed with apricot and coconut, and my mom got those fancy kind in the tall, skinny can that's like a blackberry cucumber, which I thought would be silly, but it was really good. The point I was going to make about the pronunciation is people say LaCroix, which is fine, I guess, but it's Croix. To me, that's Croix.
Okay.
LaCroix.
Well, I don't know. It's also probably another language, so...
But wouldn't that be LaCroix, not LaCroix? If it's French?
Maybe it's in... I don't know French, so I cannot comment to resolve this debate for you.
Ugh.
What I will do, though...
Is make me Google?
Is affirm... well, that too. Affirm your super fave with a beverage-based super fave of my own. We've probably discussed the fact that I have an iced tea problem in that I drink it like a lot.
No, not a problem.
No?
Aficionado.
Yeah, I have a addiction, maybe.
I'll take a picture of iced tea at
tendency.
breakfast.
To be fair, that was lunch.
It's true.
And to be fair, what I said was, I'm going to drink it like it's my job. So if you want to bring me a second one so I'm not annoying, I'm trying to proactively be not annoying.
You are the best. You're the best guest, because telling a server like I'm going to drink a lot, just bring me more or bring me a picture is actually very nice.
Help me help you.
Yeah.
But at the, maybe not at the restaurant, maybe it's all the same, but at the little coffee break drink station, they had I'm going to totally pronounce this wrong, but Camellia Malawi Red iced tea. I took a picture of it with my phone because it was quite tasty. I drink a lot of black tea. Like iced tea is typically black tea. So I want to try and find some red tea.
Well, it doesn't Starbucks have the red passion fruit non-caffeinated tea?
To be fair, I don't like fruity tea.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think it's just like, like green tea, black tea, red tea.
Oh.
But typically when you go to like a conference, you get English breakfast.
Right.
You get like hot tea.
Right, chamomile.
Or iced tea is typically going to be black tea. And then sweet or unsweet if you're in the South. Which is usually... I also have a shirt that says, put some South in your mouth. Sorry. Put some South in your mouth. It's from a barbecue restaurant. What other favorite things you got going on that are not Witness Success?
Have you heard of Jackfruit?
Yes.
So it's that big fruit, I guess. Not vegetable, since it's jackfruit. That looks like it has green goosebumps and has like weird insides that looks like it has baby jackfruit. So
that's a jackfruit. It looks like it has a jackfruit. Is that really what you just said?
Yes.
Is it like a pear?
No, it's
with
big,
pimples?
like as a spaghetti squash.
A mango? Ooh,
And then you cut it open, and it's really hard to explain. I haven't actually purchased a raw one, but I keep seeing things out there about, it's like meat or it's melty, and you can have it in a a taco. And I will tell you, all of these alternative things with this new eating plan, not all of them are worthwhile. No. Soy chorizo tastes exactly like chorizo. Brilliant. And this jackfruit, I got it. It was marinated, Southwest style, comes in a little package in the like refrigerated section. So I was like, screw it, I'll give it a shot. It was delightful. Kind of heated up in the pan, and it was almost like a marinated pseudo pork. It was very tender, very yummy. It's super weird. The actually cutting the raw vegetable kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies since there's things inside. It's very much like a big zit. Kind of weirds me out. But the already packaged stuff was really good.
You're really selling it.
Don't try it. You actually eat the pork. Like, eat the thing that tastes like the thing. Don't do what I'm doing if you don't want to.
I was thinking of starfruit.
Oh, that's yummy.
Well, there was a lot of that with Whole30, right? A lot of substitutions of. That's why I learned to like, spaghetti
it's
squash.
Actually really good. I mean, to tell anybody out there that cauliflower rice or spaghetti squash is just like rice or just like pasta is ridiculous. It is not. No. But
it's really good.
It's a good substitution. It's not the thing. But this was really good. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Sneaky jackfruit.
Okay, that really made me laugh.
Who knew? My super fave, we talked a little bit about the day after Witness Success that we stayed and got massages. And I got a bamboo massage. Wasn't really sure what that was going to mean. Was he going to like beat me up? I don't know. It was kind of like a hot stone massage, except like with a bamboo drumstick. So not like bamboo like you're thinking unworked bamboo. Unworked is not the word
like
I want.
Shoots? Like in a yard?
Not like you're growing bamboo and it's got like the rings around it, right? So it would be weirdly shaped. No, this was like smooth, like a drumstick. For playing drums, not like chicken. You don't know it was
not pine?
It better have been bamboo.
Please continue.
But it was great because he would like massage and then he'd use it like a roller, right? And just like, and then I love that I'm gesturing. Only you can see me. But he also would use the end of it like in your pressure points. It was real good.
Ooh.
It was.
But you had said,
I recommend
I don't want a mamby-pamby massage.
Yes.
Like, I want deep tissue therapeutic sports.
I don't want like an aromatherapy, let's be friends, rub your hands on me massage. Like I want you to get in there because I have, in case no one knows, a large chest that I carry around all the time.
Every day, all day.
Computer, right? So I carry a lot of stress in my shoulders and my upper back. So if I just get like a cutesy massage, it's basically enough to just like open up all the muscles and just make me feel like crap for the rest of the day, right? So that's not really happening, but yeah, it was really good. Ooh, I once got a massage and they tucked me in a sheet and she used like a car buffer thing that spins and just like, rubbed it on my back. It was so nice. Anyway, so that was a new adventure.
Awesome. You know what I didn't tell you? Because it was still a really great massage and great relaxing experience. She talked the whole time.
Nope.
Talked to me about pressure points, and acupressure, and not that I didn't like it, and then would say, okay, enough learning, just relax. And then 2 minutes later, like, and here's where you will rub for your liver, your lymphatic system, blah, blah, blah. Again, she was soothing and it was nice, but it was a lot more talky than I am prepared for the rubby.
Questions that you were expected to answer necessarily.
Oh, goodness, no, thank goodness. No, it was more tutorial, which is good.
Interesting. I wouldn't have retained though. Like, I'm not gonna like take notes.
I don't think I know that there was a part in one foot that's different than another as far as my insides.
Oh, there you go. As far as my insides go.
Hey, just got a text that my daughter has a Lego stuck up her nose. So why don't you wind this down so I can take her to the hospital?
Oh, well, I mean, really, stay witty.